Let's go back to some breaking news we've been following this morning. A federal judge has blocked Elon Musk's Doge from accessing sensitive records at the Treasury Department after 19 Democratic state attorneys general sued the Trump administration over Musk's access to that personal financial data. With us now, one of those AGs, William Tong of Connecticut. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Attorney General Tong, I'm wondering, how did the state attorney generals the Democratic state attorney generals come to the decision that you all needed to sue? How did you essentially put this suit together?
So, as you know, we're ready for this moment. We're ready well before Donald Trump got reelected. I was here for 1.0. I've been attorney general for 7 years, and so I'm here again for 2.0. And we know, as state AGs, Simone, you referenced that outside groups outside of Washington have to take action. I think we've demonstrated time and time again that state attorneys general are the first and last line of defense. Elon Musk and his tech bros and their access to the Bureau of Fiscal Services and the Treasury Department's central payment systems represents the largest data breach in American history. And so we had to sue. We sued last night, 5 o'clock, 6 p.m. We got a temporary restraining order this morning blocking him. But this is just the start of that fight.
General, the moment is dynamic because, as we were talking about with Eugene Daniels just now, there's a lot of different things happening at one time, and trying to take the focus of state officials, federal officials, the news media off of some of the underlying actions that really impact the American people, and specifically referencing this attack on birthright citizenship. Yes. Attorneys general have filed a lawsuit against Trump's bid to end it, noting the plaintiffs are bringing this action to protect their states, localities, and residents from the president's flagrantly unlawful attempt to strip hundreds of thousands of American-born children of their citizenship based on their parentage. Talk to us about and help people understand why, we're concerned about Trump and Elon getting into Treasury and information and all these other things. But why this strikes at the heart of what our country is all about, and why this really does matter to stop this effort to eliminate birthright citizenship beyond just the constitutional idea, it's unconstitutional. Yeah. We know it's in the Constitution, but it's there for a reason, because it says something about who we are as a nation.
Without birthright citizenship, Michael, I'm not sitting here right now. My parents were not yet citizens when I was born. They came to Hartford, Connecticut, Bloomfield, Connecticut, actually, of all places, with nothing. And they work 7 days a week, 12 to 15 hours a day. They work themselves sick so that I would have every opportunity in this country. And if they didn't know that when I was born in Hartford, that I would be an American by right of my birth on American soil, they wouldn't have been able to put everything they had into me and my sisters, and sign a lease, and open a Chinese restaurant, and build a business, and put everything they had into our education. This is true for so many millions of Americans, not just in the past, not last year, not 10 years ago, right now. That's what gives me hope, frankly, because this is still happening across this country. Immigrant children are given a chance because this place, America, gives us the best opportunity. And our parents knew that. This country knows that. You know who knew that? Ronald Reagan knew that. And he gave a famous speech about birthright citizenship and how he understood it to be part of our essential character as a nation.
General Tong, you have been such a fierce defender of immigrants in your state and across this country. It's why it struck me that you have U.S. AG Pam Bondi pausing the distribution of all funds to jurisdictions that don't let the federal government use local law enforcement resources for federal immigration enforcement. In essence, if I am understanding, you have a Republican DOJ defunding the police. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, they're defunding health care, they're defunding education, they're defunding children, they're defunding the disabled, and they're defunding the FBI and the police. Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, defunding the police. And it makes all of us not just less safe, unsafe. What are they going to do with an FBI that has half the manpower that it should have for the next terror attack, right? The next major data breach or hack. What are they going to do to protect the American people when they have so defunded and undermined law enforcement in this country? Never mind what they did with the pardons on January 6th.
General Tong, another question for you about a different suit that was brought. United States, different states across the country have now told a judge that Donald Trump is not fully following the order to block a funding freeze.
Yes.
This is from Reuters on Thursday. We'll read a little bit from this Reuters report. The temporary restraining order Judge McConnell issued on January 31st was very clear, they write, that no funding should be paused, yet state agencies haven't been able to access that money and are being told that funds are frozen. Judge McConnell, he was appointed by President Obama in 2011. Talk to us about this, because this funding freeze, if you are a fellow in a program, right, that your scholarship money comes from the federal, some program in the federal government, your funds are now frozen. If you are a Head Start program, right, the funds are frozen. And they're saying, these people in the states that I have talked to are saying that there's a promise that the money will come, but they're unsure of when. What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, let me thank New York and Tish James and Peter Nerone in Rhode Island. And you know, there's this sense the president is flooding the zone. Well, Democratic AGs are flooding it back. Yesterday, Friday, I was in federal court in Boston on birthright citizenship. And then later in that day, we filed our motion to enforce on this funding freeze case. And then, of course, later we sued to stop Elon Musk and his tech bros. But in many ways, this funding freeze issue is the most dangerous. And you know who's feeling it the most? Red states. Red states are by far the greater takers of federal funding, particularly on education, for example, and law enforcement support. And you saw how quickly they rolled back that OMB memo and claimed to rescind that memo. It's because the phone started ringing off the hook, right? And my colleagues in red states said, wait a second, what are you doing? Why is the Head Start payment portal closed? Why is the Medicaid payment portal closed? And the reason why this is so dangerous is because we've got a very broad TRO out of federal court in Rhode Island that says freeze. You've got to stop all of your attempted pausing of federal funding. You got to stop your freeze across the federal government. And we have proof that they're not complying. So this raises the question, what happens if we have a court order and Donald Trump and his minions don't comply? That's called a constitutional crisis.
General, we got less than a minute left, but I do want to get your thoughts on the last point you just made, the constitutional crisis, because that's where all of this is heading. Our buddy David French wrote a great piece in the New York Times talking about what Trump is doing here at the constitutional level, which is remaking the Constitution real time as we speak. There's no constitutional convention here. There's no gathering of conversation around what the Constitution looked like. What are your thoughts in what we see happening to the Constitution right now as you're out there every day having to deal with the ramifications from it?
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, this is the problem with the birthright citizenship case and so many other issues and actions that Donald Trump has taken. You cannot amend the Constitution with a stroke of a pen. You cannot do it without Congress. You cannot do it without the states. He is not a king, and he is trying to act like one. Right? The 14th Amendment is clear. If you're born on American soil, you're an American, period. If this remains a legal and process fight, I like our chances. And that's why it's so important that we keep the heat on Pam Bondi, that we keep the heat on OMB, that we keep the heat on the president, that we move to enforce a court order that says pens down, you cannot freeze federal funding. We have to keep them within these guardrails and the rule of law.
All right. Connecticut Attorney General William Tong, thank you so much.